Well, good evening, everyone. I think we're going to go ahead and start while you're finishing your dinner and having your dessert. Thank you so much for being here and for contributing to the advancement of the 8th annual Tony Lenzer HPGS Scholarship Fundraiser. We really appreciate it. I'm Lori Adamschick. I'm this year's HPGS president, and I think we have a wonderful evening in store for you. This evening, our special honoree is Dorothy Colby, who you all know. Dorothy is an incredible dementia caregiver trainer and mentor who has touched the lives of so many. And you'll be hearing more about Dorothy a little bit later in the program and why she's so worthy of this honor. First, I want to say thank you to those of you who are HPGS members and to those of you who are new to HPGS. Thank you for your support in coming out tonight. I also want to mahalo the board of directors, many of whom we have here tonight, who gave of their time to organize this evening. And I can't pass the opportunity to thank our superlative executive director, Sherry Goya, who's sitting back there, who is literally the glue that holds all this together. And our past president and fundraising chairperson, Kathy Wyatt, sitting here. As an organization that is working toward increasing awareness of and interest in the field of gerontology, we have enjoyed ongoing support over the years from the Arcadia organization and CEO Susie Schulberg. So big mahalos to her and Arcadia for providing us with this space tonight and all the Ono food, which was supposed to be poo-poos. Heavy poo-poos. It's always a pleasure to work with Arcadia. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about the Hawaii Pacific Gerontological Society. It's an organization that was co-founded years ago by Dr. Tony Lenzer, a gerontology pioneer in Hawaii. Gerontology was Dr. Lenzer's lifelong interest and career. And in 1969, he came to the University of Hawaii School of Public Health to establish a gerontology program and to support aging and aging research and teaching. In 1988 through 1993, he also served as the first director of the UH Center on Aging. His team obtained a grant of over $1 million back then. That was a lot more money. And they developed an award-winning 13-hour course on aging called Growing Old in a New Age. And it was shown on public television stations across the country and used by more than 100 colleges as a teaching tool. He had a significant impact on gerontology. In 2013, former AARP Hawaii State Director Barbara Kim Stanton said of Dr. Lenzer, "No one has done more to advance our understanding of what it means to grow older in Hawaii and to prepare a generation of state policymakers to begin addressing the challenges and opportunities of our aging population." Tony was our first president of Hawaii Pacific Gerontological Society, and as a lifelong educator, he believed we should support students interested in gerontology, especially here in Hawaii, where we revere our kupuna. In memory of his passion for education, HPGS created its scholarship program, and it offers scholarships in his name to dedicated students in gerontology and related fields. So your support and attendance tonight will continue to fund our scholarship program for next year. And we thank you for recognizing the value of this and the value in encouraging more students to go into geriatrics and gerontology. These scholarship recipients are our next generation of gerontology professionals. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Kendi Ho, co-chair of our Workforce Development Committee, who will tell you a little bit more about our scholarship program.
Okay. So on behalf of Christina Shida and I, co-chairs of the HPGS Workforce Development Committee, thank you for attending this event tonight, as funds raised will support our scholarship program. Over the past several years, we have honored legends in the field, including Tony Lenzer, Rose Nakamura, Barbara Kim Stanton, Cullen Hayashida, who's here tonight, Emmett White, John McDermott, and Gary Simon, also here tonight. And we hope that through our efforts in supporting students interested in aging, we can create new leaders and powerful advocates like our past awardees. HPGS offers one of the few local scholarships focused on aging. In Hawaii, this is critical. There is a concern about the growing demand of our older population. We need a continuum of workers, from those pursuing higher education and graduate degrees to those on the front lines, including certified nurse aides and community health workers, who are providing critical care to our kupuna. This year, because of generous donations made by so many of you last year, we gave two $2,000 scholarships to graduate and undergraduate students in nursing, social work, and related gerontology fields. We also gave 5 elder care worker training awards of $750 to caregivers wishing to advance their studies. In addition, HPGS received a grant from the Hawaii Community Foundation that enabled us to award 3 additional $2,000 award scholarships to nursing students. Please watch these videos from Kim Baguo, John Supnet, 2 recipients of the Hawaii Community Foundation Nursing Scholarship, and Sai Dudla, the recipient of the Tony Lenzer Student Scholarship, to learn how HPGS scholarship funds have helped these students further their careers.
My name is Saikel Zadla, a PhD student in public health at the University of Hawaii, and my research focuses on building age-friendly communities and evaluating aging-related health outcomes. I'm deeply honored to receive this year's scholarship from the Hawaii Pacific Gerontological Society. With this support, I can focus on advancing my work and research in the field of gerontology to improve the health of our kupuna. Thank you very much for your support.
Hello, my name is Janet Suknet. I am one of the recipients of the scholarship. I live here in Maui. I just graduated last May for my associate degree in nursing. I just also passed my NCLEX RN this month, and I am currently working as a registered nurse in the long-term care facility here in Maui. I am also currently taking my bachelor's degree in nursing in Manoa, and I use the scholarship to pay for my tuition.
Hi everyone, my name is Kim Baguio, and I am a level 1 nursing student at Hawaii Pacific University. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the HPGS organization for awarding me this scholarship. It has allowed me to buy a new laptop, which I really need in school, and I also use the rest of the money to pay for my tuition. Organizations like you is one of the reasons why I am very motivated to give back to the community, especially to our kupunas. Again, thank you so much, and God bless. More power to your organization.
They're inspiring, those students. Well, I want to shift our focus over to our honoree now. Today's event honors someone, as who I have said before, has improved the lives of so many people touched by Alzheimer's and other dementias. She has trained students, doctors, nurses, nurses' aides, at least one attorney, and innumerable family members who sought to learn how to best communicate with those living with dementia. Dorothy's own mentor, Ms. Teepa Snow, who developed the positive approach to caregiving model, she's taught her model and her techniques all over the world, and she was very excited to have a chance to speak about Dorothy.
My name is Teepa Snow, and I am the founder of Positive Approach to Care and the Snow Approach Foundation in Hillsborough, North Carolina. It is my great honor to have worked with Dorothy Colby for many years. And what I've got to say is, wow, I am so excited that she is being recognized by the society. Dorothy has been making a difference in people's lives since the time she was working in the kitchen, since the time that she chose to step forward and serve in a different way in her community, but then on her island, and then on other islands, and then around the nation and around the world, because Dorothy didn't stop when she could have stopped, which is making a difference in a small way. Dorothy represents the absolute best in human beings. Seeing a need, she steps forward to serve, and then she turns around and says, who else could come? Who else might be able to learn this and do this? And so what's been wonderful about Dorothy, what's amazing about Dorothy, what's unique about Dorothy, is how she brings other people forward and offers them that opportunity to lead, to take this on, to try this out, to learn and to be present in the moment of discovery. And Dorothy, wow, what an amazing woman. She told me she would never do singing, and she sings all the time in front of groups. She would never want to do this. And, there is no never for Dorothy. Dorothy is a remarkable human being who I truly believe has changed the face of care for people living with dementia and their families in Hawaii. And I want to say thank you to the society for acknowledging and recognizing that. But most importantly, for recognizing that with Dorothy's type of leadership, we'll have a whole nother group coming behind us, the next generation and the next generation, because we believe in our elders and our youth. And they can come together and we can make a difference when we're the bridge. And Dorothy has been an amazing bridge. So this was gifted to me, but in honor of the state that I'm celebrating, aloha and mahalo. And thank you, each and every one of you that supported Dorothy's nomination. And thank you, Dorothy, for being the human being you are. I respect you greatly. Thank you, my friend.
That was amazing. And Teepa Snow is not the only fan of Dorothy's. We have a couple more videos. We had hoped to have Jody Michon of Catholic Charities here to talk in person. She has unfortunately taken ill, but she sent us some videos from some other folks at Catholic Charities to share.
Dorothy has been a tremendous partner and supporter of Catholic Charities Hawaii in our common goal of addressing the needs of caregivers, helping to provide information, training, support, and more importantly, providing hope for them on their caregiving journey. I have heard so many caregivers as they leave one of Dorothy's trainings saying how helpful the training has been for them. They leave the room with a lighter spirit and a much more positive outlook on life. I have seen how Dorothy takes the time to talk to individual caregivers and listens to them. She shares tips, advice, and practical knowledge, and it's really helpful for them, and they leave with those tiny bits of wisdom to help them in their work. As a family caregiver myself, I can attest to the many lessons I have learned and the aha moments I have had while sitting in one of Dorothy's trainings. She reminds us of our humanness, that each person with dementia is more than just their dementia, and that each caregiver is human, not perfect, likely to get very stressed sometimes, but always doing the best they can to provide care for a loved one. Dorothy, you are a treasure for our community. You have and continue to improve the lives of so many people with dementia because your trainings have touched so many of their caregivers. Mahalo, Dorothy, you are greatly deserving of this honor.
Dorothy is one of the most dynamic and knowledgeable educators that I know. Her workshops for caregivers, for people with memory loss, give us all a better understanding of dementia, but also everything that we always wanted to know about caregiving and were afraid to ask. I think Dorothy makes us all more aware of the loving nature of caregiving, the closeness that develops, the lasting memories. Her talks are sprinkled with stories, her personal stories, our stories. She makes us laugh, she makes us cry, and we all learn. I introduced one of our family caregivers to Dorothy's workshop, and it was the first time that she ever got a better understanding about dementia and what her husband was going through and even what she was going through. Being able to listen to Dorothy really made her understand dementia better and the importance of taking care of her husband and herself. Thank you, Dorothy, for this very special gift that you have given all of us, caregivers and the rest of us. Congratulations from Catholic Charities Hawaii, from our Memory Mentor Program and Phone a Friend Project. Thank you.
Hi, Dorothy. This is Judy Taketa from Catholic Charities. I want to congratulate you on being selected for the HPGS Tony Lenzer Scholarship. I want to thank you so much for all the trainings you've provided our caregivers and the community at large, because we've learned tremendously about how to best work with those individuals who have memory issues, how to be much more compassionate, understanding, and there are ways to work with the individuals so that it would be such a struggle. And so caregivers who were so frustrated and angry became much more responsive in working with their loved ones. And it was through your efforts and your trainings that they learned so many new techniques that has helped them to continue to care for their loved ones who have memory loss. So congratulations, Dorothy, for all that you do. And thank you from Catholic Charities Case Management Program.
David Fitzgerald, the owner and president of Hale Kuike, who I think is here somewhere. Ah, there, yes. He's the owner of the dedicated memory care facilities that Dorothy serves at. She's the community, what is her title? Community engagement. And community engagement director, but she's an educator, a mentor, a trainer, and a coach. And David sent us his reflections about Dorothy in this video.
Hello everyone, I'm David Fitzgerald and I'm the president of Hale Kuike. It's been my honor to know and work with Dorothy for almost 20 years now. She came to work with us as a cook when we first opened. I quickly saw that she had the ability to recognize what was needed to improve the lives of our residents and also knew how to make that happen. We had a resident from New York City who was missing the taste of home. Dorothy made matzo ball soup one day for the residents, and after lunch, Sam went to the kitchen and grabbed Dorothy's hand and told her that he saw his mother when he ate her soup. Over the years, Dorothy has taken on the jobs of head chef, human resources and business manager, administrator, and now our director of community relations. In that time, she has also grown to be an amazing dementia care trainer. In all of these roles, she has shaped Halikwike through her compassionate leadership, knowledge, and wisdom. When emergencies happen, Dorothy has always stepped up to lead the response. As a master delegator, she knows how to pick the best person for each role. When COVID hit us in 2020, it was hard to know what to do. Dorothy organized and led our COVID response team. She helped us figure out how to keep the lives of our residents not only safe, but also as normal as possible. I remember about a year into the pandemic, she said to me, "I wish this never happened, but I am glad I didn't sit this one out." And that was a perfect example of what makes Dorothy such a great leader. Facing challenges in a positive way is a part of who she is. But Dorothy's influence goes way beyond Halikwike. Part of our mission is to support not just our residents and families, but to help our larger community of caregivers. Through her public workshops and webinars, she has touched the lives of hundreds of families and professionals. Our Halikwike staff and families who have attended her workshops have told me firsthand what a difference it makes in their day-to-day connections with their loved ones. Thank you, Dorothy, for being a part of Halikwike for 20 years and making such a positive difference in our lives.
I know we have a few people here who would like to say a few words about Dorothy, so I'd invite you to come up now to do so. Pat, I think you were one of them. Maybe Sarah, please come up and offer your Dorothy stories to us.
Okay, I had to write stuff down so I wouldn't get lost. Yeah, well, you were busy eating, so. All right, I had to pay attention.
Wow.
Okay, so we're two of the people that Dorothy brought along from the community that Tipa was speaking about. I personally have to tell you that I heard about Dorothy, but I couldn't find her in the community. But I always heard, oh, you got her, this person does this. And so I put it on my bucket list. I put Dorothy's name on my bucket list that I still have. Find Dorothy, whatever her last name is, and then I'm going to be like Tipa Snow. Okay, so that was my big deal. And then when I heard Tipa Snow was coming, I'm like, she must know Dorothy. And so I got a 2 for at the same time. So I was so happy to be selected to go to the 2-day workshop that we went. And I was scared to death after the first day. I have a master's degree in nursing. I'm a retired nurse, and I've taught nursing, but this was way out of my wheelhouse. And so, and it was so different than what I had ever been taught in terms of working with people, patients. So, so we sat at the same table, and we all looked a little green. Yeah, we bought into it. Yeah. But we weren't going to do it by ourselves. So we connected, and we're still connected from that period of time. We've seen each other in pajamas. We've seen each other dance, and we support one another. We have a hui. And last year, Dorothy and I got a chance to go to North Carolina to TIPA's annual conference. And I thought was a really good idea, let's bring Hawaii to the conference. Let's teach them Hawaiian words. And we had all this great stuff. And then the day of the conference came, and I did not want to get out of bed. I was like, oh my God, I hope Dorothy's good with this, because I can't remember crap about what we're supposed to say. All I remember is I got to the stage and I was so overdressed. I looked like I was going to be on Wall Street. Dorothy looked like her cool ha'ula self. Yeah. And we just had to lead with that. Like, we didn't look at what we packed together. So just bear with us. And it turned out to be so cool because Dorothy was there. Dorothy was there. She held space, not just for me, but for the whole room. And that's her gift. Is if you're doing something incorrectly, not wrong, incorrectly, then she'd say, could I make a suggestion? I never thought of that. So I have 3 kids. I could have used that comment for the entire time that they were growing up. Could I make a suggestion about that outfit? No, it took me all this time, like 70 years, to figure out there's a better way to approach people. And so I have used the positive approach to care for everybody in my family. And they really like Dorothy, even though they never met her. It's like, Mom is not the same. So I salute you for taking a chance on me, because learning how to deal with dementia changed my relationship with my mom. I did not know how or why she behaved the way she did. I just thought she was being a pain in my ass at the last stage of her life. And when I connected with Dorothy, I'm like, it's not her fault. I had no clue. She didn't even know she was doing this. So in the last years of her life, what I learned through PAC and TIPA and Dorothy really connected me to my mom. And one of the things I just said, my mom lived in this assisted living facility, so I thought, what a great thing to give back. So I'm going to tell them I can teach something while I'm here. And they were like, oh, that'd be great. So I did the first session on normal versus not normal behavior. My sister brought my mom to it. And when I saw my mom at the back of the room, because there's staff there, and there's my mom. And I had all these stories about my mom that I had to change and make to my Aunt Dot. And so after the talk, my mom said, I learned so much, but I had no idea Aunt Dot acted like that.
Good for you.
Okay, great. Oh, saved by the bell. So I really appreciate you hanging with me. We shared a room last year. Oh man, Ashevitz. We had a blast. I won't tell you about the dirty parts of it because it just stayed in North Carolina, but we had a lot of fun. Go ahead.
Thank you, Pat. I want to thank Dorothy on a couple of levels, because I think if you do know Dorothy, there's 2 key things that pop up in my mind. Is relationships are very important. And I get kind of tearful too about it, because I'm caring for both parents that are living with dementia, but it started where I needed to take a step back. So relationships are very important. And the second thing is to be mindful and to be present with people that are living with memory loss. And I think those are the two big takeaways, but definitely I have to give credit to Dorothy. She's also a visionary in the sense that in addition to taking the PAC training, I'm a social worker, and I kept thinking, how can I use what I know about social work to help people? So during the pandemic, Halikuiki was very visionary. They set up a program for family caregiver support that we could do by Zoom. And so I did a series of caregiver support services, but they went beyond that even after the pandemic. And thanks to David and his crew, they saw, what could I do to improve the relationship with people, the residents actually living there? And they believed in me to be able to teach Tai Chi for people that are living with dementia. I've researched this. Halikuiki is the only care facility. I'm talking not just care facility, I'm talking about assisted living, nursing homes, anything. They're the only facility that has a trained Tai Chi instructor, which is what I've been doing for about 1.5 years. And if you can just see the joy in the eyes of the residents, and we've even got to the point family members now try to come when I'm there, and we're inviting them. And when the residents see their mom and their dad joining them, it gives them such encouragement. They feel like they have a purpose because now they're giving something of themselves to their loved one. And so, again, thank you for a relationship, that extends beyond just our friendship and professional lines. Thank you.
Anyone else with Dorothy stories? Well, I want to tell you a little bit about Dorothy's background. She was born in Kailua. She was raised out in Hauula, that's Pat's comment. She went to St. Andrew's Priory, and she went on to Bryn Mawr and got a master's degree. And you've heard talk about her being a cook and making matzo ball soup. It's because in 2003, you may not know this, but she went back to school to pursue a personal dream of becoming a professional chef. So she's also a proud graduate of the Culinary Institute of the Pacific. And that's how that's how she first joined Halikuiki. But Dorothy has a very personal connection to dementia care. Her grandmother, with whom she grew up, had Alzheimer's disease. Her father had stroke-related dementia, and her father-in-law had Parkinson's-related dementia. I just lost my place. Give me a moment here. So all this family connection definitely had an influence in leading her into Teepa Snow's program, and for her becoming a positive approach to care dementia trainer. And she has trained so many people since then. For more than 20 years, she has done this work, cared for people with dementia, helped residents of Halikuiki and their families navigate through the course of these difficult brain diseases. Her mission has always been to help families understand what's happening to the brains of their loved ones. And through her work at Halikuiki and her public education classes, she helps those who work with and care for people with dementia to understand the process of brain failure. Her philosophy is that by understanding this, we can empathize, we can adjust our approach and our expectations, and we can better connect and communicate with those who have dementia. Those who have attended her in-person classes, you already heard Pat and Sarah talking about this, but others have said things like, I just love these workshops because they help me understand my mom so much better and to realize she is not the disease. And someone else said, I walked away with more knowledge about dementia than I ever learned in school. In addition to her work at Halikuike, Dorothy has touched many of us through her educational videos, which Catholic Charities has graciously sponsored and made available online to all of us. I personally learned so much from her video classes, sitting on the other side of the computer screen, and it helped me enormously in understanding how to talk to some of my clients who have dementia. And looking back, it has even helped me to understand some of the puzzling things that my late father-in-law said years ago, before we even knew he had dementia. As you've heard, so many of us have learned so much from Dorothy and owe her a debt of gratitude. Her work has been compassionate and loving and dedicated. So with that, Dorothy, I'd like to ask you to come up. We have a formal presentation for you. The City Council has sent a certificate acknowledging all of Dorothy's background, and I'll just read a little bit of it. It says, whereas her advocacy has provided invaluable resources for countless individuals, families, and organizations, helping the community view dementia care as a shared responsibility, particularly for Hawaii's cherished kupuna. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Honolulu City Council, on behalf of the people of the City and County of Honolulu, recognize and congratulate Dorothy Colby for her extraordinary contributions and compassionate commitment to dementia care. And that's for you. The State Senate also sent a certificate over, and I will read what they said at the end. Whereas Dorothy Colby's teachings help people learn about brain change and how to see the world through the eyes of someone living with dementia, now therefore be it resolved that the 32nd Legislature of the State of Hawaii honors Dorothy Colby for her loving work and advocacy for our kupuna, and send our heartfelt mahalo to such a valuable life teacher for her long-standing contributions to the people of Hawaii.
Oh, man, okay.
You better put those down. This last one is a special message from Dr. Josh Green, our governor. And I didn't read word for word all of what's on the city and county's proclamation and the state legislature's proclamation, but this is very personal, so I want to read it in full. Aloha and warmest congratulations to Dorothy Colby, the distinguished 2024 honoree of the Hawaii Pacific Gerontological Society's 8th annual Tony Lenzer Scholarship Fundraiser. For over 25 years, Dorothy has exemplified true dedication and compassion in her work, particularly with those living with dementia. Through her personal and professional journey, she has become a beacon of hope and a source of strength for countless families and individuals. Her tireless commitment to enhancing the quality of life and advocating for those in need highlights the depth of her expertise and the kindness of her spirit. Dorothy's unwavering focus on promoting understanding and empathy for individuals with dementia resonates deeply with the mission of HPGS and honors the legacy of Dr. Tony Lenzer himself. Her remarkable service, marked by decades of heartfelt care and leadership, inspires not only her peers, but also the broader community dedicated to gerontological work. We applaud her achievements and express our profound gratitude for her enduring dedication to uplifting the lives of our beloved kupuna. Congratulations, Dorothy, on this well-deserved honor. Your work makes Hawaii a better place for generations, past, present, and future. Signed, Josh Green. And now, on behalf of the Hawaii Pacific Gerontological, would you mind doing the honors, Kathy?
Go ahead.
On behalf of the Hawaii Pacific Gerontological Society, we want to present this koa clock to Dorothy in appreciation for all she does for Kupuna and our community. I want to give you a chance to take the mic.
Oops. Wow, that was a overwhelming number of frame certificates, frame letters. Thank you so much. I want to thank the Hawaii Pacific Gerontological Society for this honor tonight. It's just really touched my heart. I want to thank the board and all the members of HPGS for bringing us together to support the Tony Lenzer Scholarship. I'm proud to support the scholarship myself for students interested in working with older adults. I kind of have a not-so-secret self-interest because I'm not getting any younger myself, but for all of us to bring along the next generation. And I think about that with every volunteer that comes to Halikuike, and then any young workers who come to us. You know, are they going to go on from starting with activities, starting with the CNA to become nurses, to one day be my nurse and be my geriatrician, and a new generation of people who are not afraid of people living with dementia. I want to thank Arcadia for, generous is an understatement, for generously hosting us tonight, creating such a real celebration. Thank you so much. I can't begin to express how moved I am by everyone's kind words. I feel so lucky to have found this path and passion in my life, to be able to make a positive difference. I think, you know, when you think about what's one's life's goals, you know, to think about making other people's lives better, you know, what greater purpose could one have? But I feel even luckier to have found all of you, a community of people whose shared purpose is to care and lift up older adults. And those of you who have been in any of my workshops know it's kind of hard for me to stay behind a microphone or behind a podium like this, but go ahead, everybody, put your thumb up like this, okay? Put your thumb up. Because when one person is living with dementia, go like this. Everybody around them is living with it too. It's not something that's happening in isolation. It takes all of us coming together, both professionally and personally, to support each other on this journey. And so I want to thank all of you, everyone in this room, professionals, family members. I have some Halikuike family members here, people from my high school who are here, my coworkers, people I've known since high school are here. Thank you all for what you do for those who we love who are living with dementia. I wanted to share, you've heard a little things about my background in life, and those of you who don't know me well might be scratching your heads about what's all this about culinary school and things like that. But I wanted to share a little about my journey to this field, because it wasn't something that I planned on as a young person, and I had a kind of winding path. When I got out of college, on the East Coast, I worked in Washington, D.C. in Soviet-American relations, believe it or not. But also computer training and scientific publishing. But in about 1993, when my grandmother's Alzheimer's disease got to the point where she couldn't live alone at home anymore and she needed to move up with my parents, Alex and I decided to move back to Hawaii to be close to them and as they cared for her. We didn't know in 1993, we didn't know anything about dementia. I doubt she had a diagnosis, a formal diagnosis. We did the best we could, but it was incredibly hard. Doing something you don't know what you're doing, and it put a lot of strain on our family. From there, my computer and publishing background landed me a job at the Aloha United Way. And I was managing their Health and Human Service call center and printed directory. But that exposed me to a new world, a world of healthcare and social services. And that's there where I started to feel the sense of fulfillment that comes from helping those in our community who are the most vulnerable and the most in need of support. But I had been carrying around a secret fantasy for many, many years before that, and that was to go to culinary school, because I love to cook. So in spite of all going to college and all these professional breaks, I'm like, that's it, I'm leaving the office, I'm going to go to culinary school. And I want to thank Alex for, my husband Alex, for supporting this crazy life detour that I did. We had young children at the time, and I was not young myself in 1993, and I knew I wasn't going to work long hours in a restaurant, but I remember writing out a goal for myself that I wanted to make a positive difference in the lives of families and older adults in Hawaii through cooking. And I wrote that out, and I thought I would become a personal chef. And I did it for a little bit, and I can thank someone right here, Ruben Jabinski, whose parents gave me my first cooking gig, cooking for older adults. That was my very first gig. But little did I know, in 2005, right when I was graduating from KCC, that a new and innovative memory care home called Haliku'ike was partnering with KCC's culinary school to shape their dietary program. My chef instructors recommended me for the job, and so I came to memory care through the kitchen door. David Fitzgerald, the founder of Haliku'ike, opened a whole new world to me of people living well with dementia. I had not seen that before. Living a life filled with love, moments of joy, and not least of all, delicious food. Haliku'ike's continuous dedication to the quality of life of residents and staff is what led us to finding Teepa Snow and the positive approach to care. Her philosophy and approach were so different than anything we had seen. The videos we used to use when I first started working there, the VHS tapes, dementia education, so boring, so stiff. It was terrible. It had all the facts right, but none of the heart. Being able to provide hands-on, not just video training, made such a difference for our staff and our families. And it also helped me a lot personally, because at that time, as was mentioned, my father, Jim Siu, had developed vascular dementia from strokes. And my father-in-law, David Colby, had developed Parkinson's-related dementia. We were so much better prepared for walking the path of their journey through my work experience with Haliku'ike and my positive approach to care education than we were with my grandmothers. I want to give some special thanks to some very special people who have made this work possible, because, as I said, it really takes all of us. I want to start with my family, Alex, Wilder, Logan, Alisa. They've supported me and encouraged me every step of the way. My kids grew up at Haliku'ike. They grew up doing activities, playing with the dogs, helping out, and over the years, all four of these people right here have volunteered in so many ways. And in emergencies, they've stepped up, helped us with hurricane prep. And I want to thank the rest of my large family who's here tonight, those tables back there, the Sius, the Ings, and the Shims. I am so grateful for the support that we as a family have given each other, as multiple family members of ours have developed dementia over the years. Again, all this coming together. I want to thank David Fitzgerald for giving me my first break in the field and always supporting my growth and learning. And to the whole Haliku'ike team, who have been such an inspiration in creating positive change in dementia care for almost 20 years. We're going to be 20 years old next year. Yeah, get out of our awkward teenage years. I need to give us very special thanks to Kei Tokunaga right there. In 2014, when Teepa Snow started offering positive approach to care trainer courses, before that it was all just videos, Kei kicked me in the butt, and she got me to go to Chicago in the freezing temperatures to be part of one of the very first classes. Giving me a boot in the right direction is a role that Kei has played many times in my life. Keep it up, Kei. I want to thank my fellow Positive Approach to Care trainers, Gina Hashiki, who couldn't be here tonight, Sarah and Pat, who you met already. Together we have called ourselves the PAC, or Positive Approach to Care Hui, and also call ourselves PAC Sisters. Together with them, we've led public workshops and supported each other's practice, and we've reached hundreds of professional and family caregivers across the state with our trainings. I also want to thank our community partners, many of which are here tonight, who have made public dementia education accessible, free, and most of all, fun. The Arcadia family companies, special thanks to 15 Craigside for hosting so many of our workshops over the years, Catholic Charities Hawaii, the Alzheimer's Association, Kokua Mau, AARP, the Executive Office of Aging, and the UH Center on Aging for helping bring dementia education across the state. But last, and far from least, I want to thank the people living with dementia and their families who have allowed me into their lives. They are the center of all that we do, and they are our greatest teachers. I never stop learning from them. I never stop underestimating them. Even though I feel like I have an open heart and mind, every day they teach me something. They are truly incredible people with so much to share with us. The lesson that they teach me most, over and over, is to slow down, be present, and pause, and to just be in the moment with another human being, whether it's a moment of heartache or a moment of joy. It is such a gift to be able to do that. So I want to ask you all to take a moment with me right now to pause and honor those in our lives who are living with dementia, past or present. So I'm going to ask you to hold up one hand, and we're lifting up and honoring the person in our lives who we know who is living with dementia. And I want to ask you to take a deep breath and think of your person, and think of the amazing person that they still are. And then hold up your other hand, your other loving hand. And this is you. Take another deep breath and honor yourself and all that you do, professionally, personally, and the incredible person that you are. And what I'd like to ask you, I don't like having to come up behind the microphone. Take the person that you love living with dementia and put their hand in your hand and give it a squeeze. And now hold it to your heart. And we're going to take a deep breath together. This relationship, this moment in time together, that is the most important thing that we have, and it's the greatest gift that we can give to each other. I want to thank you again for allowing me to be here in this moment with you, and to be part of your lives, and as we all be part of the work that we all do together to not just improve the lives of people living with dementia, but lift them up and celebrate them for the amazing people that they are. So thank you very much.
What an incredible night. Well, in closing, we'd like to thank you again for your ongoing support of our event and our scholarship program. And may this year's scholarship recipients go on to become gerontologists and future leaders of the Hawaii Pacific Gerontological Society. This program has been taped. It will be uploaded to the hpgs.org website in the coming weeks so that you can share it with others. And for all you do for our kupuna, we thank you. We wish you well. Have a safe journey home. Good night.